Good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning, Chris.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
As part of our series of talking to all our staff at First National Byron, I always like asking people, how did you end up here? But you actually started here, didn't you?
I did start here, yeah. So I grew up in South Golden Beach and Mullumbimby.
Went to school?
Billy Nudgel Primary.
Did you really? Billy Nudgel,
is
an outstanding school.
Defunct now.
Yeah.
And then Mullum High the whole way through.
And what did you do after you finished your Mullum High School education? Where'd you go then?
I went straight down to Sydney to go to uni and stayed down in Sydney for 28 years. So ended up doing a history degree and taught history for 18 years.
Where at? In the city?
Yeah, I started at Loreto Kirribilli. I was very lucky.
That's a good school.
Posting, yeah. And ended up 10 years at Skeggs Darlinghurst.
Oh, you did. You were at some great schools. Why did you decide after nearly 30 years in the city that to come back to this part of the world?
I think when you grow up here, Chris, you always know you're coming back. It's just a matter of when. So I wanted to come back because I wanted my kids to experience what it's like to grow up here. And their dad was up here. So it made sense for them to come up and have a life up here as well.
You got two kids?
Two twins.
And you had twins. How old are they?
They're 17.
When you moved back here after all those years away, what are some of the things, obviously, that have been changes, but what are the things when you first moved back that surprised you or that were really different about the place?
I think the amount of diversity in terms of socio-economic diversity, that really, that was different to when I was growing up here. Heaps of new businesses, lots and lots of hospitality, lots and lots of small business, which wasn't as big. Mullum, I couldn't park in Mullum, which, threw me for a wobbly.
Yes.
Mullum's, was a pumping town when I arrived back here.
Right through the pandemic, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think a lot changed in Mullum over there during the last couple of months, has it?
No,
really?
That's right. No, people really look after each other in Mullum.
It is a very passionate community, Mullum, isn't it? And you've been living over there for a while since you came back.
Yep.
You also were in real estate. You left teaching from memory in Sydney.
That's right.
And then you went into real estate for a while. Tell us about that, your real estate journey. Where did that start?
Okay, so I had this mad love for real estate, just buying and selling and renovating and doing all of that. I just got really excited by the whole process and it just became my kind of secret obsession, my secret hobby. And I thought, I'm gonna have to give it a go. So I got my 10-year long service leave and I decided to have a crack. So I started down at Bell Property Mossman, right in the deep end. It was a great experience. And from there I was lucky enough to get headhunted for LJ Hooker Avenue, where I did some time working alongside some of the best agents, which was pretty cool.
You did. You worked with some great agents there. And what part of, tell us about that area. Well, tell us a little bit, for those who don't know the Australian cities, tell us about what you were doing in that part of the world.
So I guess Mossman's pretty much considered one of the, wealthiest places in Australia.
All the bankers live there, don't they?
All the bankers live there, yep, and the media moguls and all sorts of people live there. It was really intimidating at first, selling these mega mansions. And then I quickly realised that the sellers are just like sellers of any price bracket. They're nervous and they need help in understanding, and they want to know that you've got it. You've got it in you to look after them and look after their property. And that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how expensive the property is. You've just got to have that desire to help people and to help them solve their problems and the commitment to get it done.
How long have you been with us now, at First National?
A year.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's gone pretty quickly.
It has.
And what are the differences between selling real estate on the north coast of New South Wales and selling real estate in the Banker Belt, in the lower North Shore?
A lot of things are the same. The differences might be that up here, probably people allow you to come into their lives a bit more. They allow you to see behind the covers, and things get pretty intimate in terms of you understand what's really going on for them. They're more inclined to tell you what they're going through and why they're selling, and you develop a really strong bond because of that.
I think that's partly you, though, I must say. I would imagine we have found working with you, everyone has really enjoyed. You've got a high trust factor with your buyers and your sellers that we've noted, which is great. But it is also a feature of the community here. I think people here are very open. It enables real estate agents to build trust quickly, and so they can help people. I guess is my observation of here. I worked in the city for years before I came up here as well. I don't think I don't think there's any good or bad in that so much, but in the city I think people may be a little warier. Does that seem the case?
Yeah, they're more wary and they're more inclined to see it as a business relationship that they're using for a time. And if you're lucky, you end up becoming friends with them and helping them further down the path. Whereas in the country, you're more inclined, I think, to keep that relationship.
You've just had, like we all have here in the last 10 weeks, the most extraordinary experience, because I don't think, even though I've been in this for more than 4 decades, I've never been through anything like a virus pandemic and lockdowns and shutdowns and so on. What have you found the most interesting part of dealing with the buyers or the people who've come to our area in the last 8 or 10 weeks? What are they seeking here?
Oh, they're seeking the life that they really wanted. They're seeking safety, and they're deciding not to put things on hold anymore, to actually chase their dreams. And they can prove that they can work from home. They want to get their most essential needs met, which is to find a home where they can raise their family in a community where it's safe.
Have you been surprised, because I have, with the number of people that are moving or want to move here in the middle of the pandemic? Like our open numbers at our open houses, for example, have been fabulous lately.
I've been completely shocked. I imagined everyone just to freeze and to sit on their hands. I've spoken to mates who are agents down in Sydney, and they are experienced that freeze in a way that we aren't. And what it's meant is that we're able to continue to help people and continue to talk to people, which has been awesome.
Yeah, it has. If you would have asked me 10, 12 weeks ago, when things started, what I expected was going to happen, I wouldn't have thought we'd been busy like we have. I wouldn't have thought so many people had wanted to come to this area as a refuge. People are still listing the houses, which has also been fantastic for us, because without listings we can't survive. One final thing, and we very much enjoy having you as part of the team here. Your energy is infectious, and we've all benefited from it.
Thanks.
What do you think is going to happen dealing with the market as you've seen it? What do you think now is going to happen through the winter and into the spring? What's your feelings about the future of real estate on the North Coast?
Well, I don't think we're going to follow a normal pattern at all. I feel as though there's more activity now and we're heating up. So it feels to me like we're going into a spring market, which is weird in winter. But the level of activity, the amount of sellers who are coming to our open homes, just sussing us out and getting a read on what's going on in an open home, I'm noticing more and more of those people turn up, which is pretty cool. People are feeling a sense of optimism, and they're understanding that it's a perfect time to upsize. So they're onto it.
I think that's a great place to end. Thank you, Vanessa.
Thanks, Chris.